In the bustling halls of the San Isidro courthouse, where Argentina's most scrutinized trial was underway, the questions swirling weren't just about Diego Maradona's final days or the people who might stand responsible for his death. Instead, by May 2025, the focus had shifted somewhere unexpected, toward the bench itself, and one judge in particular. Judge Julieta McIntosh, her name suddenly plastered across headlines, discussed on talk shows, trended on social media, became the very face of a judicial scandal. Until then, she had been regarded as one of the three presiding judges on a historic case. Now, her impartiality, her ethics, and even her future in the judiciary were under threat. But how did a judge, tasked with enforcing the rules of justice in one of the most high-profile cases in Argentine history, become the source of such chaos? The answer begins, as it often does, with a seemingly small decision, one with consequences no one in that courtroom could have predicted. Sometime during the proceedings, people began to notice something odd. There were cameras, more cameras than usual. Documentary filmmakers are nothing new in famous trials, and the media presence at Maradona's trial was intense by design. But these weren't just standard news crews. These individuals moved with surprising freedom, filming not just in public hearings, but in corners of the courthouse usually cordoned off from outsiders. The project, it was later revealed, was called La Jueza de Dios, the Judge of God. Its focus, none other than Judge McIntosh herself, who was presented as the lead judge in the Maradona case. To her critics, it all had the hallmarks of self-promotion. To the defense and prosecution, it raised more disturbing questions, particularly about fairness and the dignity of the court. The film crew operated with a privilege no other outsiders had been given. They were there not as neutral documentarians, but as guests of the judge, enjoying secret access to key moments, sometimes even before trial lawyers themselves had entered the room. One of the photographers would even admit, under questioning, that he'd been paid $500 for the footage. What made this so damning was not just the breach of judicial protocol, it was the secrecy. Neither the defense nor the prosecution had been officially informed that their proceedings or their confidential exchanges would be filmed or broadcast for a public audience. When news of the recordings broke, Maradona's daughter's lawyers were first to act. Filing formal complaints, they argued Judge McIntosh's conduct contaminated the trial and demanded her removal. Prosecutors quickly followed, demanding a pause to assess if the judge's neutrality was fatally compromised. The Maradona trial shifted focus from the case to judicial process and impartiality. Argentina watched as the trial was abruptly suspended. Legal experts debated if the process was tainted, if evidence and verdicts would be questioned due to the judge's desire for the spotlight. The explosive possibility loomed. Unauthorized filmmaking by the judge could nullify the entire trial. If McIntosh undermined her neutrality, a new panel would mean starting over. For families, lawyers, and Argentina, it meant more delays, pushing judgment to 2026 or beyond. For now, Judge McIntosh herself faces an uncertain future. Investigators will examine her decisions, motivations, and contacts with the film crew. Every move she made in and out of court will be scrutinized, as will her understanding of the line between public interest and judicial duty. But the larger question is no longer just about her. It's about trust in those who arbitrate justice, in the processes that promise fairness, and in a system capable of righting itself when failures occur at the highest level. As the courtroom doors remain closed, all eyes are watching, waiting to see if law can deliver justice, not only for Diego Maradona, but for the credibility of the Argentine judiciary itself.